This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So let us continue the discussion on LVM. In yesterday's session, we have done with creating a physical volume, then a volume group, logical volume, formatting, and mounting. Now today, let us try to see how can I increase, decrease the sizes. Okay, so let me just log in into our Red Hat machine first. So you see we have a physical volume, we have two volume groups, and each volume group is having 1 LV. So let us say that my LV capacity is 300 MB and I wanted to increase that size and I want to make it 600 MB. See, you can make whatever size you want. 300, 900, 1 GB, 2 GB, 10 GB, 500 GB, whatever you want, you can make it. There is no limitation. But the practical limit comes here. You want to make it 300 MB, 600 MB. That means you need additional 300 MB in your volume group. Now, if you check your volume group, my VG, total capacity is 508 MB and free is just 208 MB. You need 300 MB to be free, but it is having only 200 MB free. Now, can you make it up to 600 MB? No. So if you want to make it 600 MB, then first you need to add more space in your volume group. Then only it is possible to expand it to whatever size you like. So if I want to make it 600 MB, I need to first increase the size of my VG. And how I'm going to increase the size to 600 MB, I need to add another physical volume into my VG. We call it as extending the volume group. So very quickly, I'll go to fdisk. I'll add a new partition. Starting sector is OK. Ending value, I want to give suppose 512 MB. Now print the table and see SDA9 is created. Same story like yesterday. It is created, but it is not compatible with LVM. So I'll use T to change the type. Partition number is 9 and I want to give the code 8E. Excuse me, 1 minute. I'm sorry. So print the partition table and see SDA9 is now compatible with 8E. Let us save and quit. So changes are done. Let me save and quit. It has also updated kernel as well. So if you just look out proc partition, you'll find your ninth partition updated. But this is just a normal partition. I wanted to convert this into a physical volume. To create a physical volume, yesterday we learned a command pv create and the device name is SDA9. You run PVS and you find that SDA9 is now a physical volume, does not belongs to any volume group. If you want, you can add it into Aura VG or MyVG, or if you want, you can create a new VG with that physical volume if there is a requirement. So I don't want to create another new volume group. I want to add SDA9 in my VG. To add SDA9 into my VG, I'll go with a command called VG extend. VG extend the name of the volume group that you want to extend and the PV, the free PV that you want to add into that volume group. For example, in our case, I'll say VG extend my VG by adding dev SDA9. Now, if you run PVS, you'll find that SDA7 and SDA9 both belongs to my VG. And if you check VGS command, the size of my VG is increased to 1016 MB and the free space now available is 716 MB. Now from 716 MB, I can take 300 MB and I can give it to my LV, which will then become 600 MB. So that's the way you have to first check that in the volume group, do you have space remaining to expand the size of LV or not? If it is there, you can directly go and expand the capacity. If it is not there, then first expand the size of volume group and then you can increase the size of logical volume. So as of now, you see my LV capacity is 300 MB. If you check df-h, my LV capacity it is showing close to 300 MB, 2.1 is used, 262 MB is available, used is 1%, etc. Anyway, let us say in this scenario it is used 1%, but in a scenario, let us say that it has increased to 91%. Now I need to expand the capacity, so I'm expanding it. So we checked in the volume group, we have space. So next step to expand the size of LV is simply by using a command LV extend. See, the size of LV can be increased online. No downtime is required, no disturbance is required while that LV is in use. Maybe some application is installed in that LV, it is running. You don't have to disturb anything. Simply by running one command, if the space is available in the volume group, LV size will be expanded. What is that command? LV extend hyphen capital L plus whatever size you want to expand, followed by the full path of LV, dev, VG, and LV name. You have a choice here. You can say LV extend or you can say LV resize. Syntax is same, right? LV extend can only expand the capacity, but LV resize can do both, increasing, decreasing. So it's your choice which command you want to use. There is no recommended or default command. Whatever you want, you can use. It depends on preference. I prefer LV resize. You can go whatever command you want. So let me say LV resize or LV extend, whatever command you want. Hyphen capital L plus I want to add another 300 MB. If it is GB, you have to give capital G. Anyway, I'm giving in MBs. So I say that increase the capacity to another 300 MB. And what is the path of LV? The path of LV is slash dev my VG my LV. So I'm telling increase the size to 300 MB. Now let me hit enter and you see that the size of logical volume is changed from 300 MB to 600 MB. Moreover, earlier it was having 75 extents, which is now increased to 150 extents. Now, if you just check it out, LVS, you will find here that my LV capacity is now 600 MB. But guys, here there is a small twist in the story. If you run df-h and check the file system, it is still stuck to 283 MB. The LV capacity expanded to 600 MB, but the file system is still showing 283 MB. Why is this issue? Why the file system is not showing around 600 MB? Let me tell you the reason. See guys, you had a logical my LV. whose capacity was 300 MB, right? And this particular LV is formatted, excuse me. Okay, this particular LV is formatted with ext or XFS file system, whatever it might be. Then what you have done, you have expanded another 300 MB. Guys, previously whatever space you had, it was formatted with ext and XFS. Then you added another 300 MB. Now this new space what you have added, is it formatted? Does it contain any file system? No. That is the reason why your LV got expanded, but the file system is still stuck to old size. That means in the background, capacity is increased, but it is not yet formatted. So what I need to do is, I don't want to completely format it again. I don't want to use MKFS one more time. If I use MKFS, it will try to format it from the beginning, which I don't want. I want to just update the file system, whatever is there, either ext or XFS. I want to update it on that logical volume. To update the file system on that logical volume, if it is formatted with ext, then you have to use a command called resize to fs. When you use this command on an ext formatted LV, it will safely update the new area what you have added without disturbing whatever is there in the previous area. Or if you have used XFS, then you have a command called XFS underscore growfs. So if it is ext, you have to go with resize to fs. If it is xfs, you have to go with xfs underscore growfs. Why? To update the newly added area with file system, right? So let us find out that this LV is using which file system. So you see my LV is using ext4 file system. That means I have to use resize to fs. So if you just check it out, the capacity is showing 283 MB. Let me use the command resize to fs and the LV path dev myvg mylv. So you see, it says that online resizing required because it is mounted, it is in use. So there is no disturbance. You don't have to disturb any ongoing activity in the LV. Whatever is there, let it be. Whatever application is active inside it, let it be. Just you increase the capacity and then update the file system. And now if you run df-h, did you see earlier it was showing 283 MB, which is now updated to 574. Right? Fine. Now moving ahead, I would like to do same thing with one more logical volume. See, if I run VGS command, I see there is one more volume group, which is Aura VG, right? And if you run LVS command, inside it there is a logical volume Aura LV, whose capacity is 208 MB. Let us say that I want to expand another 100 MB. That's it. Just check in Aura VG. Do you have 100 MB free? See, you need 100 MB, but there is 288 MB free. That means you have ample space in your volume group. You don't have to expand the volume group in this scenario because whatever space you are looking for, that is already available in the logical volume, right? And Aura LV capacity is 208 MB. I want to expand another 100 MB. Also check the usage. I'll say df-h slash Aura. When you check it out, it says 203 MB is the capacity, 13 MB is used, 191 MB is available. Used is just 6%. Let us say the scenario is it is used 96%. That is the reason I want to expand the capacity. Now we check that in the volume group already we have ample space remaining. So I'll directly go for LV expansion. I'll say LV extend or LV resize, whichever command you use, the syntax is same. Hyphen capital L, as you are expanding the capacity, you have to use plus. How much size you want to add? I would like to add another 100 MB. So I say LV resize hyphen capital L, add another 100 MB. To which logical volume slash dev ora vg ora lv. So it says 100 MB was not divisible by 16 because the extent size is 16. So I have made it 112. Okay, there is no problem. So earlier it was 208 MB, now it upgraded to 320 MB. Previously it was having 13 extents and now it is having 20 extents. Now if I run LVS, you see the capacity is 320 MB, but if you run df-h, you will find that the LV is still stuck to old size. The reason is same. New space is added, but it is not yet formatted. Now if you want to format it safely, only the updated space or the added space, and here if you just check it out, lsblk, it tells you that Aura LV is formatted with XFS, right? So if it is formatted with XFS, I told you what is the command we have to use. You have to use XFS underscore growfs to update XFS formatted logical volume. XFS growfs and the LV path is dev aura vg aura lv. Enter, right? And now if you run LVS, the capacity is 320 MB, and if you run df-h, you'll find that the LV space is also showing you around 320 MB, right? So this is the way how you can expand the capacity of a logical volume whenever there is a requirement. Just check in the volume group space is available or not. If it is available, directly go for it. If it is not available, then first expand the VG and thereafter you can expand the logical volume. That's the way we have to go for it. Okay. All right. Now moving ahead, I would like to decrease the capacity of a logical volume. Now this activity is one of the rarest activity. Hardly you will find any time that you would be getting a ticket or the request to reduce the size of LV. Reduction has its own limitation and people would like to avoid it as much as possible. The reason is if you don't take care properly and go for reduction, it may end up corrupting your data or destroying your data unnecessarily. But anyway, we never knows that when such situation might arise, so we should be prepared of reducing the logical volume perfectly. The first thing that you have to keep in your mind is reducing the size of LV is not an online activity. It requires downtime, definitely. So without downtime, you cannot do that. Downtime means you have to unmount your logical volume. See, to unmount the logical volume, if that LV contains any application, first that application should be shut down and then you can unmount LV. Otherwise, your NV will never get unmounted. You try 200 times, it will say it is in use. So first, if there is an application inside it, You should contact the application team, get a downtime. Whenever they give a downtime on that day, make sure LV is unmounted. Otherwise, this activity is not possible. And even before that, you should check, can you really remove the size or reduce the size or not? Suppose I have my LV with capacity 600 MB. Let us say I want to take away 200 MB from it. Now, guys, you have to be sure that you can really remove 200 MB or not. You should check in the LV 200 MB free space is there or not. So you can check it by using tf-h and the mount point name or LV path. So 574 MB is the capacity, 2.3 MB is used. 541 MB is free. So from 541 free space, can I not take 200 MB? Possible. So with this, I can come to a conclusion that we have a free space and we can remove it, right? Suppose there is only 100 MB free and you remove 200 MB, then that will create data corruption. That's what I was telling you. It is not going to give you a warning or something. Warning might be given, but if you don't pay attention to it, you may end up corrupting or deleting 100 MB data, right? That's the reason it is very, very careful activity. So step number one, you should check whether the space asked is free to remove or not. If it is free, proceed and remove it. If it is not free, then we don't have to do anything. We should not continue. We should inform the same thing to the application or database, whatever is installed in this LV, and we should tell them that there was a request to remove 200 MB, but there is only 100 MB. I cannot remove it. So whatever they have to do with the data, they will take a decision. Data is not a responsibility of system admin. We don't have to delete any file. We don't have to do anything. We have to tell them, give us 200 MB free, we will remove. Otherwise, we cannot do anything, right? Okay. So in our case, we already have free space. Now, next step is unmounting the LV. Suppose on the given date, time, application is shut down. Now you can unmount the LV. See, if there is an application inside it and you are trying to unmount it, it will never unmount. If application is down, then only unmount command will work. Otherwise, 100 times you run the command, unmount command will fail. So make sure that whatever application is there inside it, it is shut down. Application team has confirmed you. So let us say we got the confirmation and now we are unmounting it. So I'll say umount/my. Now you just confirm with mount command. You will not find my LV in the list. You might see Aura LV, but there is no my LV in the list. Aura LV is there, but my LV is not there. Other than that, you can say LV display slash dev my VG my LV, and you can find the open status. It is showing you 0. That means it is not active, it is not mounted. Okay, so first step, we check space is there or not. Second step, you have unmounted the LV. Now third step, you have to check the health of the file system. Before reduction, you should check whether the file system is healthy enough to go for this operation or not. And this is a mandatory step. If you skip it and go to next step, it will throw you back and ask you to check the health of file system. See, to check the health of any LV or partition, you can go with a command fsck, or you can use the latest command e2fsck. To just perform a check, you can go with -f. -f will forcefully check the health of your file system. What is the file system? Dev my VG my LV. Now when I run enter, you see it performed the test and it told that all the options are passed. there is nothing failed, everything is fine, I can continue. If this has shown you errors, then repeat this command and remove -f to repair any problem in your file system under logical volume or a partition. So I don't want to repair anything, everything is fine, I'm skipping it. I'm not hitting enter, I press Ctrl C to skip it. Okay, so third step is also done. We have checked the consistency of the file system. Now fourth step is update the file system using resize to fs and tell it that what is the size you're going to get after reduction. So I'm just telling it that be prepared that after reduction your size will be so and so. So first check what is the size. The size is 600 MB. Now guys, from 600 MB, if I take 200 MB, right? So what would be the final size? The final size I'll be getting is 400 MB, right? So I need to tell my file system that after reduction, your capacity is going to be 400 MB. Be prepared for it. So let me use the command resize to fs. Why I have to use resize to fs? Because this is ext formatted logical volume. I'll say resize to fs and the LV path is dev myvg mylv and I'll say prepare yourself to get into 400 MB. So once I hit enter, the file system will be updated and it would be ready for the change and to get up to 400 MB. Now lastly, I have to reduce the size of logical volume. To reduce the size of logical volume, we will use lv reduce command. Or again, you can use lv resize because lv resize can do both activity. I'll say lv resize hyphen capital L. When we were increasing, we used plus. Now I'm decreasing the size, so I'll be using minus. I'll say reduce the size to 300 MB, for which LV slash dev myvg mylv. Now you see when I hit enter, it is going to warn us. It is going to say that reducing the logical volume, this may destroy your data inside it. If you are not sure what you are doing, then you may end up in destroying the data in your LV. So we have already taken all the safety measures. We don't have to worry. I'll say Y. Y for yes. So you see, it has successfully reduced the size. Now, if you just check it out, LVS, the capacity is back to 300 MB, right? Now, let me mount it back. See, already in FS tab, there is an entry related to Aura LV, so or my LV. So I'll just say mount hyphen A and the logical volume will get mounted. Oh, one second. Maybe while reducing, I made a mistake. See, it is telling us that there is a problem in our LV. One second. I'm trying to repair this. It says that there is a problem. Let us see, will it fix it or not? Okay. So I just said yes, 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 and I tried to mount it. Let us see. Still it is telling bad option or bad super block. Now that is a dangerous situation. I was telling you that this is a careful activity and I landed into a problem. Now if we don't have backup, then our LV will always be having issue. So that's the reason, guys, we always try to keep the backup, and if there is no backup, then this situation will definitely arise. Let's see, will it fix it or not? No, I don't think it has fixed it. Second guess. Just give me a moment, guys. I don't know why there is a problem. Actually, it should fix it, but let's see. It's going with the same thing again. It's not fixing the issue. Usually, it should fix the issue if there is any such thing. Oh, I don't know why this thing is. I should have taken the backup first. Generally, by using FSCK or E2FSCK, it will fix the issue. If not, then having backup is really important. Otherwise, we will not be able to recover back the thing. I think while saying yes or no, I made a mistake. That's the place where it affected. Maybe it is going to be a problematic thing now. Let's see. Still telling the same thing. That's a bug. See, the biggest mistake what I made over here is not taking the backup. If I could have a backup, then restoring back the things would have been easy. This is the reason, guys, why we usually avoid going with reduction, because any simple mistake can totally corrupt your logical volume, right? The mistake what I did is while resizing the logical volume, when I say LV resize, right? And let us say hyphen capital L, and I say minus 300 MB or minus another 100 MB slash dev my VG my L, or before that, can I say resize to fs slash dev my VG my LV and make it up to 200 MB if possible. Now it says there is a problem in your logical volume now. So I need to reformat the entire LV and the data will be lost then if I try to reformat it. Usually FSCK should have fixed the issue, but as we can see that FSCK is also not able to fix this particular issue. So I'm really sorry. Let me check out the perfect reason that why it is corrupted and how we can fix it. What are the measures we can take to fix it? So I don't want to continue from this point on that LV. Let us leave that LV. I'll come back to it. I'll definitely try to repair and come back to you. I'll tell you what are the steps I have taken to repair it. Meanwhile, if you want to uh, reduce the size of another LV, that is Aura LV. Now, if you say DF-H or maybe LVS, you'll find we have Aura LV. The capacity is 320 MB. Let us say that I would like to make it 200 MB. 120 MB I want to reduce. See, to reduce the size of a logical volume, which is formatted with XFS. So in that scenario, what you can do is the answer is here. See, XFS file system does not support file system reduction. That means you are not allowed to reduce a logical volume with XFS file system, because as you can see in EXT there is a file system reduction option and we have faced an issue with that. By mistake, when it asks yes or no, by mistake I type something else. So C or D something got printed and it corrupted, right? So that's where reduction is always a little risky if we don't pay attention, and if we have not taken the backup, then these all stuffs will be possible. So anyway, for XFS, directly reduction is not possible. If you want to reduce it, then there are other ways to reduce an XFS file system. Reducing XFS LV. See, step number one always is to take backup of data in LV. Now, how can we take backup? See, we have different teams. Excuse me. So I was telling you that first step is to take the backup. Backup can be collected by different methods. And the way to take the backup would be using TSM network data domain. Many techniques are there. Or locally, if you want to take the backup, then you can use tar technique, tar and gzip technique, which we are going to learn in the coming time. Once I show you, it would be easier for you to take the backup of anything whatever you want. So as of now we have not yet learned this. In the backup and restore class we will learn that, right? So first step is to take the backup. Then step number two, sorry, you have to unmount DL, right? And step number three, you have to delete the LV, safest thing. Fourth step, recreate same name LV with smaller size, right? And lastly, format with XFS and remount it. Lastly, you have to restore the data from backup, right? So this would be the best technique, guys. Either you go for XFS or even if you go with EXT. First thing is taking backup of your data is important. The mistake what I performed over here is I did not took the backup. And as I did not have a backup, my LV got corrupted, and now there is an issue that I may lose my data inside the LV. So what I'll do over here, guys, on this note, I will stop the session here. Let me try fixing that LV, and I'll tell you that what are the measures I have taken to repair it. So as of now, I'm stopping it, guys. You can practice till here. Tomorrow, I'll show you what are the measures I have taken, whether it got repaired or not, that also I'll tell you tomorrow. Today, we will stop here. Give me some time, guys, to troubleshoot it and come up with the answer. So I'm stopping here, guys. I'm not taking any questions today. Tomorrow, I'll take all the questions, whatever you have. Right. Thank you very much, guys.